Alix was making $2K per month as a health coach. She knew she wanted to transform lives and was willing to put everything she had into it. So she spent 8 months pouring her heart and soul into making an online course. She priced it at $147 so people could afford it. And she ended up selling 5 of them. That's right, 5. She'd had enough and decided to hire a coach to help her grow and scale her business. The first thing she learned was raise your prices. Now, after going through a step-by-step system to show her how, she went from making $2K per month to $29K per month. I wanted to find out how moms like Erin could build similar coaching businesses. So in this video, we dig into number 1, do you actually need certifications to build a coaching business? Number 2, how to get better clients and deliver better results. And number 3, the mindset shift that helped her overcome objections and sign up clients at 10 times her original price. But first, I wanted to know this. How much did you make this last month?
Actually $29K.
$29,000 as a coach.
Yep.
$29,000.
Not out loud yet. So,
how does that feel saying that?
it feels amazing. I mean, and honestly, I've got to be real frank. It's taken me, it hadn't even set in yet, but I mean, like, I haven't even thought about the money, and I don't really, I don't say that like to sound like a cheese ball or like I'm goody goody. I truly, I mean, I've thought about it for sure, but it's not like the joy that I have felt getting to pour into people at a level that I can when I'm getting paid that kind of money is, I mean, truly, like, it's my life has changed in the last literally like 3 weeks. Truly.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Casey, how's it going? How's it going? Everybody out there in Facebook Live land, feel free to ask any questions that you want to ask to Alix. We're going to dig into, so Alix just made $29,000 this month as a health coach. And we're gonna dig into how Casey got, or sorry, Casey, how Alix got, Casey, you got me distracted over here. How Alix got to $29K a month this month as a health coach. And so Alix, I really want to run through your story and give everybody a little bit more of a background. So if you wouldn't mind just starting off with, you know, obviously what you do, you know, what your expertise is, and then we can kind of go back maybe, you know, maybe a year ago and see where we're at a year ago. Cause I think, you know, it's so important. Everybody sees this like, you know, oh, 29K a month, like, but they don't know what went into it, right? They don't see the trials. They don't see the tribulations. They don't see the failures, the scrapes, the bruises, the scars along the way. So I would really love for us to kind of dig into that. So if you could just start with kind of who you are, what you do now, obviously, and then maybe we could go back a year to, you know, beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
So I'm a nutritionist, point blank, and I help people create and sustain, which is really where I specialize, the body they desire inside and also out, right? Yeah. So we're not just working on aesthetics. We're not just working on losing weight, but we're also working on losing kind of that symbolic weight as well. So really, part of my program, I involve my husband, who's a mindset coach, Mo, in working with my clients.
He's not just any mindset coach. He's the mindset coach. Mo's phenomenal. All right.
The mindful Mo. Yes.
Mindful Mo.
Yes. So anyway, and I just have to say, I mean, involving him in the process in getting people to change their nutrition and all of that. I mean, it is like the success that I'm seeing from my clients in the first just couple of weeks of them working with me has been, I mean, truly like better success than I've ever seen. And I've been in the industry for 10 years. So it's
so true though. Like I had this conversation with one of my good buddies who's a marketer, and he said, moving forward, people are starting to understand that whatever business you're in, if you're helping people lose weight, if you're helping people make money, if you're helping people find relationships, whatever business you're in, if your solution does not involve some form of mindset work, it's not a solution. It's not a valid solution unless you're incorporating that. It's slowly starting to become more and more accepted that is the truth. So that's amazing. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, you know, beginning of 2018, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, let's take it back to 2018. Where were you there? What was going on?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I should take it back 8 or 10 years even. I mean, I have been in the personal training industry. and have always, I remember when I met my husband 9 years ago, I introduced myself as a personal trainer, but wanting to get into the nutrition space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was certified and all of that. I actually have a business degree, marketing, minor in psychology from Tech. And I don't know, I've always had a passion for nutrition, and that comes from a long history personally and just kind of the way I was raised. And anyway, just really began to.
Yeah. So quick question for you there, because I think this is very pertinent to our viewers and our audience. You know, so many people go after the certifications.
Yep.
Right? They go after certification after certification, and they think the more certifications I get, you know, then I'll be confident. Then I'll, you know, when I finally get those 3 letters, then people will pay me more. Right? Did you kind of struggle with that when you were going through this as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because in my industry, it's, well, if you're not an RD, then you don't have clout, or we're not going to listen to you, or you're not medical level. And I mean, that's something that, you know, I mean, and thankfully society is kind of doing it, you know, for us. But I mean, there are a lot of myths out there about nutrition, you know, and just a lot of the things that I practice with my clients are things that, my God, I mean, we've been saying for years that are just now coming out, you know, on the news that are
being like publicly accepted.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so I think I will say that the certifications, like it mentally, like you know, like I used to coach endurance athletes, and I would always tell them, there's no reason for you to run a marathon before you actually run the marathon. You don't have to run 26.2 miles before you actually do the race. And it's really hard mentally to get people over that hump. And so I found the same with certifications. You know, it helped me mentally gain some confidence because now I had a certification backing me. But what I know today, frankly, after working with you, I mean, it's like you've always said, right? I mean, if somebody came to me tomorrow with a bleeding neck, right, I'm going to fix it. You're
not going to send them walking down the road on their own.
Certification.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Holy shit. I didn't realize that I helped you realize that, but if someone came to me with like a bleeding neck, like gushing neck wound, like even if I don't have a certification, I'm going to figure out a way to help.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So. Oh, that's amazing. So let's fast forward a little bit. You know, so obviously getting into the nutrition space, and then I know you and Mo started up your guys' business together over the last couple of years. You've been doing decently well there. But you know, a majority of your business at this point is still like you're on the floor, your personal training. You know, how many hours a week, and kind of, you know, like what were you being paid at that point?
Sure. Yeah. You know, anywhere from $70 to $90 an hour. And usually 20 to 30 hours a week. Because really more than that is miserable. I have some friends that do 60 hours a week, you know, in that profession, and that's great for them. But and it was just it's a grind, but it's great. And no offense to the personal training industry at all. I just, you know, it's hard to truly make a living doing that.
Yeah.
You know, long term, and to be able to save, to be able to live the way you want to live, but also, you know, getting involved with, you're not getting paid enough that you want to pour into the person as much as you should be, and they are not paying you enough that they are as committed as they should be, right? Yeah. And I learned that from working with you. I mean, it's been huge. I mean, just charging what I'm worth. I work so much harder now than I ever have, but I don't mind because I'm getting my worth.
And I think twofold there. One, you're getting paid your worth. And number two, like you mentioned, the clients that you're working with have never been more committed, have never been, I think that look says it all, right? Oh my God, right? Like they've never been more committed. They've never gotten better results, right? And it's like something happens when, all my mentors would always tell me when I was first starting off, people who pay attention. Right. And it's true. Like people who pay attention and they see the absolute best results. So obviously you knew the PT thing, 70 hours, $70 an hour and working 60 hours a week. Like this was not going to get you to where you wanted to go. So I know you started to like dabble in the like, oh, I'm going to do like what was it? It was like $197 video course. Like, tell me about how that went.
Yeah. So I spent about 8 months working on a 10 days to clean eating online program. And I was going to charge, I can't remember, I think it was like 147 for it or something, $147. And
Yeah.
I launched it and I expected the world to fall at my feet. I really did. Because I'm like, I worked so hard on this.
Right.
And I had 5 full sign up.
At 147?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how much did you, so that ends up being like $700 or something?
Yeah, something. Yeah. So which is great. Like, I mean, that's fine. Like, that's great. But
I wanna just sit in that for a second, because I think that's another really important lesson that everybody should learn, especially in the coaching space, because we all have this amazing gift. We all have this desire to go help people, and we pour our heart and soul into these products and these programs and these solutions and these services, and we put it out there, but we don't put it out. We put it out with the best intention, but we don't put it out knowing how to properly frame it, how to properly communicate it, how to properly sell it. Right? It's twofold. You can't just have a product.
Yeah.
You have to be able to promote and sell this product the right way to get it to the people that need it. And so you put 8 months of work into this thing, 8 months of work, and you made $700.
Yep.
Right? Because we always, like, this is what happens when we're positioning on the lower end. You like, I know you mentioned you were positioning against like the Jenny Craigs of the world, and like,
yes,
right?
And a lot of different about that. Just I feel like there's so much, especially in the nutrition space. Like, there's free recipes everywhere. There's free weight loss advice. There's free, whatever. And what I've had to get over, and I learned this in working with you, truly, is I'm not going to help everyone, and that's okay. But there is a piece of the market that is untouched because I'm not putting myself out there. Like, people are literally, thank you, Casey and Xander, people are literally dying because I'm not charging what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And I realized that more than in the last few weeks. I mean, I can think of every one of my clients that I have enrolled in the last few weeks. They would have all fallen off by now if they had just paid me $300 a month like I used to charge. Every one of them. Everyone, and I would have let them, because, I mean, for $300, oh my gosh, I mean, that's a lot of work, right? For $300.
Yeah.
So
I want to make sure we sit in that one again too. People are literally dying because I'm not charging my worth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put that up on the screen for everybody to see, but people are literally dying because I'm not charging my worth. That just like gave me chills as you said that, but it's so true, because and someone else, I can't see who commented, but someone else just said, it's hard to give 100% to every client when you're working 40 plus hours a week.
Yes.
Right. Casey's just saying, yes, you were being selfish. Thanks for just being straight up about it, Casey. Right. But, people, this mental shift that we make, right? Because we think that by charging less, we're being unselfish, right? Because what do we think? I want to get this out to the world. But what ends up happening, just like you mentioned, number one is the people who do end up working with you, right? They're not committed. Right. And number two, because you're not making the money that you need to make, you end up not being able to scale. You end up not being able to get to the people that actually need it. Right. So it's such a shift. It's such a massive mental shift when you realize that people are literally dying because you're not charging your true worth.
Right.
That's amazing. All right. So 8 months, $700, a lot of work, doesn't really end up working. And then obviously, over the last couple of months, you've made some drastic shifts and changes. So I would really, end of 2018, obviously getting into 2019, you made some big shifts. I would really like the audience to understand, everybody to understand, what were the big shifts that you made that really helped you? If you could give us 3 big shifts that you made over the last, 3 months or so that have now allowed you to be bringing in what most people would dream of bringing in a month, $29,000 in a month, right? And I think you and I mentioned this before. You just, by the way, you just quit your country club job. You put in your notice, you said this week, and you were making less than that in a year, you said.
Yeah.
Can you just say that for me? I just want to be certain I'm not lying.
I just made in 3 weeks what I make in a year at the country club. More than what I make in a year. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you got to tell me what were the shifts, 3 shifts.
Sure. I'll be real honest, and I want to tell everybody I was not asked to say this, and honestly I get emotional. I am so thankful that I am not looking back today, 3 months ago, wishing that I had worked with you.
Thank you.
I think it every day.
Alix, you're going to make me cry right now.
Me too. So that is one of the shifts, because that took a huge mental shift for me. And the second would be, I am in a place in my life that I have never been. And this comes from our work together, Xander. If I don't face a fear every day, I feel very unproductive. And I have been more nervous in the last 3 weeks than I think I've ever been in my life. And I've raced a lot of triathlons. I've done a lot of dance competitions. I don't know. And so I'm facing my fears. I am visualizing like I have never done in my life. I'm throwing myself into that. And I'll give you a fourth. I am reading my business plan. I am doing my gratitude every morning. I am reminding myself of why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing. But it's starting my day with the right the right headspace. And everything's not cake or easy, but by any stretch. But it is a world away from where I was when I first met you. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's phenomenal. And I think a big thing that I want to emphasize there too, right, is we always talk about we love to talk about the successes. We love to talk about, to be honest, right, like making more in 3 weeks than you did all of last year in that country club job, like that's number one, that's insane. But just like you mentioned, the trials and the tribulations that you had to go through over the last, several months to really get there, the growth that you had to go through. But what happens when you start to condition this growth, right? Like before you may have been afraid, it may have made you uncomfortable to do X, Y, Z, and it would have held you back, and you held yourself back from doing all these things. And over the last couple of months, you've become a totally different person. Like you mentioned, like when you wake up in the morning, number one, if you don't do something today that stretches you and grows you, you feel like you're going backwards. So you've developed this habit, this condition of always growing, always getting better, and continuing to push yourself forward, right? And it all, it's so amazing to me because it does start with a decision, right? And that decision 3 months ago or 2.5 months ago, or whatever it was. And one of the things we talk about is you can't change your destination in a day, but you can change your direction. And if you change your direction just 5 degrees and you keep strong on that 5-degree change, that's the hardest part, right? Because every day someone's trying to knock you down, something's trying to knock you back down to that, like back where you were. And you're like, no, I'm staying on this trajectory. I'm staying on this goddamn motherfucking trajectory. You are not getting in my way. Exactly. Right? Yes. And you do it for 2 to 3 months. And after that, it's the new norm. That's the new flat. The new flat for you is actually an uphill increase. Yes. That's amazing. That's so, I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Alix. That's phenomenal. Yeah. So for everybody out there, I think, I do kind of want to close it with a couple of quick tips that you can give to everybody out there, all the coaches out there, because, we know that there's a lot of coaches that have the heart that you have. Maybe not that you have. You've got a special level of heart, Alix, but they have this amazing heart, this amazing energy, these amazing desires to give to the world, right? And either they hold themselves back, they don't believe it's possible. They think, like my favorite, they think just by putting a great product out there, people are going to want to buy it. And they don't, so many people spend thousands or tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars getting their RD or their nutritionist degree or all these things, but they never spend the time to learn how to actually build the business. So that's another thing, but I would love to understand, if you could give one piece of advice to yourself, 1 year ago, one piece of advice to yourself 1 year ago, what would that one piece of advice be?
I mean, that's a tough one. It'd be a few, but really
you can give us a couple if you want to give us a couple. I'm not going to hold you back from that.
I mean, the first that comes to mind, and it's been the hardest thing for me, is honestly, and I said it earlier, I cannot help everyone. I can't, and that's what when I came to you. I mean, that's what I was trying to do, was help all of the people, because
and because of that, you were helping no one.
I was helping no one. Truly, I was helping no one, because I didn't have a clear message. People were very confused about what I actually did, right? And so I just think, honing in on, from a business perspective, honing in on your market, who you want to work with, and if other people will come to you. I'm learning that. I mean, but you cannot help everyone. And honestly, I've learned in this process, you don't want to. You don't want to. I mean, you think you do, but you don't, especially when you're charging what you're worth. When you're charging $300 a month, you really want to help everyone. But when you're charging what you're worth, you don't want to help everyone, because you know that you're not going to be able to give them the quality they deserve. So that would be my
That's amazing
advice. Yeah.
All right. What do you feel has been the biggest fear you've had to overcome?
Asking for money. Asking for my work.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah.
Why was it so difficult? Obviously, this is a massive difficulty for everybody. Why was it so difficult, and why was it so important for you to overcome?
I mean, like we all do, I just had some really strong beliefs around money. And I think it was actually Josh who said, money is just like, you're literally just exchanging value for value. And when you look at it that way, it's like, oh, well, of course, because I'm going to give them exactly what they're paying for. I mean, more probably. And so I just really had to get past. It was also just a belief in myself, a lack of belief in myself, right? Am I really worth this? And I really getting that first client. And as I saw myself show up for that client after I'd gotten paid what I was worth, I thought, oh yes, I'm worth this. And it got easier. It's getting easier to ask for it, because now I know I can deliver the result. But I think that's probably been the hardest thing for me to overcome, is asking for that. And I had to overcome it if I was going to help people. I mean,
You had to, right? And this is, I want to sit in this one for a second too. So, I posted this on the screen, but who out there has issues asking for money? Who like this? If you've ever had issues asking for money, like this post, if you've ever had issues asking for money, because if I could like this post, I would like it right now, because I've had issues asking my true worth, right? Now, just like you mentioned, Alix, like now I can ask my true worth. But even my mentors right now are like continuously telling me, like, Xander, you're undercharging. Like, you're like, for what you deliver, for how much you're helping people. All my mentors are like, Xander, you need to charge more. And I'm like, but me? Like, Xander? Like, like the kid from the block? Like, what do you mean I need to charge more, right? Like, I thought I'm good. I thought I learned my lesson. No, right? Like, we're always learning that. So that's a huge one. And again, why was it so important for you to overcome this issue? Because I think this is a big issue for pretty much everybody. So why was it so important for you to overcome this issue?
I mean, truly, because I was not going to truly help anyone at the level I wanted to if I didn't overcome the limiting beliefs that I had about money, if I didn't overcome my fear of asking someone to pay me what I'm worth, I wouldn't be helping the people that I'm helping. And who knows where they would be, you know? So
I think you just kind of hit it on the nose, right? It's like, sure, like whenever we think about money, we always think it's about us, right? But it's that's most people's issue is like, when I think about money, it makes me guilty, makes me feel guilty to want money. But I think you just hit it on the nose. It's like, you would not be helping the people you're helping right now if you weren't able to command your real worth. You would not be there. You would not be able to do the things that you need to do to help these people if you were not be able to command your real worth. So that's phenomenal. And any last pieces of advice you want to give everybody out there in Facebook land as we wrap this one up? Obviously for you guys, everybody out in Facebook land, if you have a question for Alix, like, you know, how do I get one of those amazing make shit happen shirts? How do I get my hair to look so phenomenal every fucking day? You know, whatever questions you have for Alix, go ahead and post them in the chat. We'll make sure they get over to Alix. But Alix, do you have any last pieces of advice you would give to everybody?
Oh man, overcome your fears. Pick one a day. Pick one a day and make that your intention for the day. Because I got to tell you, it is the most scary, freeing thing on the planet. And I mean, truly, all everything aside, Xander, I got to say, work with Xander. Man, if you're in a place, if y'all just knew where I've been. If y'all feel like a completely different human being sitting here right now. I feel like I am in a different body.
That's amazing. Thank you for that, Alix. No, absolutely appreciate it. And we've seen an amazing transformation in you, and I know you're going to go out and inspire a lot of people. So super, super excited for everything that you're doing, Alix. And if you guys are in the nutrition space, the health and wellness space, reach out to Alix. She's phenomenal to chat with. Great person to know. Great person to network space. Great person to network with. If you are having issues with your health, one of the most knowledgeable people that I've ever met in this space, you need to reach out to her. The results that she gets are just silly. So, you know, thank you so much for joining, Alix. Super proud of everything that you're doing. I love you so much, and we'll chat soon. All right. Thank you for this. All right. Have a good one, everybody.